Alright folks, so I'm going to do a review of my XTZ 125 before I get rid of it. Today is the last day I'm going to own this bike, and I've had it for about a month here in Colombia. I've really enjoyed this bike, and I'm happy I got it even though I'm trading it in. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about the whole process of buying this bike and trading it in and everything. The bike I'm replacing this with is a Honda XRE 300. It just fits me way better. I'm about 5'11", and this bike is definitely too small, and there's not enough power in certain situations. Okay, so where to begin? I bought this bike for 8 million pesos, 8,800,000 pesos with insurance, I think for 2 years, and the registration card, and it's called SOAT and RUNT, and also Tecnomecánico, which is like basically your window sticker that you have in the United States. It's like that the wheels are good, the tires aren't bald. That's Tecnomecánico. So you need those three. You need to register the bike and run, you need the Tecnomecánico, and you need SOAT to be good on the road. And obviously it has to be your bike, but that kind of goes without saying. Now let's talk about this bike a little bit. It's an XTZ 125. It's a 125cc engine. Makes about 10 horsepower at sea level. Now, if you're riding in the mountains, that distinction at sea level is really darn important, especially with a carbureted bike. It's carbureted. It's 5-speed. Tops out at 62 miles an hour, 63 miles an hour, and you can get it up there plenty because there's downhills, there's uphills. It's really the uphills that get you. If you're up at elevation, say like right now I'm at 7,000 feet. If I go up to 8,000 or maybe 8,500, there's already not a ton of power, but there's less power at that elevation, and you're going uphill. So you spend a whole lot of time at wide open throttle. And that's, to me, that just doesn't feel great. I don't like that. I know that there's not a ton of, difficulty on the motorcycle, because it's underpowered and it's overbuilt. These little 125s will last literally forever, but I just don't like that feeling of pinning the bike. Okay, the bike itself is the biggest 125 I think you can get, at least one of the biggest. We've got a 21-inch wheel on the back, an 21-inch wheel on the front, 18 on the back, 80, 90, 21. So 80, 90, 21 is like the smaller version, I would say, of the 21s that come on bikes of this size. 90, 90, 21, you're going to see that more often. The rear, I think it's a 110. Yeah, it's a 110, 80, 18. So there's a little bit of rubber on there, but this bike doesn't have a lot of suspension travel, to be totally honest with you. I thought it would, and you can adjust that shock to be softer, but there are some situations where you use every bit of that shock. So if you make it softer, you're going to be probably bottoming out. I think the same goes for the front shocks. I think these are adjustable as well. If not, obviously you can adjust them. You can put new springs on there, revalve them, whatever you want to do. Like, these are all basic parts. Okay, front disc brake is honestly not adequate in my opinion. Not for my weight. I'm 165 pounds. You put a passenger on there, your hand's going to be sore at the end of the day. It's really not adequate. And then you've got a drum in the rear. I mean, you're pushing the limits of grip. You can lock up the rear tire anytime. It is, I guess you could call it adequate, but there's just not a ton of grip in the back. This little pipe sounds kind of nice. This protector, you have a couple of layers of protection. It's good. This is good exhaust setup. I like it a lot. Kickstarter and your idle adjustment screw right here. Single cylinder. Servicing this bike, 60,000 pesos for a full service. That's it's like under $20 for the full thing. Adjust the chain, adjust the brakes, lube the chain, clean the bike, change the oil with semi-synthetic. The whole thing is under $20. Super cheap to run. I get over 100 miles a gallon on this bike. No joke. 100 mpg, very easy. The light, great. First class light, very bright. Bright, and also has like a very clear line. Like, it's bright. It's a great headlight for a bike this size. I'm into that. Transmission shifts buttery smooth. Okay, it feels good. The engine and transmission on this bike, it's old school stuff that's been, that's just there's just not a lot to go wrong. Okay, carbureted, fine, whatever. It has a tiny little, I don't know if you can see it down here. So there's your oil bolt, and then you have a under tray, which is nice, keeps the rocks from kind of chipping away as you roll. The wheels are nice and sturdy. No issue with the wheels, they're light. Let's see, where else? This luggage rack, I use it every darn day. I really do use it quite often. Lights are bright. Brake light works. Seat's not removable. That's a kicker. That sucks. However, you can take this side panel off and access about, I would call it like a 40 can of storage volume, like a 40 ounce, maybe less, like a 32 or like a 20 ounce can is what is the amount of storage that's under there. I don't even want to get into it because it's not fun to take off, because the seat you have to take off with bolts. That sucks. These mirrors, if I were keeping this bike, I would replace these mirrors because they are wider. You cut between traffic a lot here, and the mirrors are a bit wider. You don't need mirrors this far out. You can have them here with a concave mirror, with a concave, piece of glass, and you're good. Again, shock travel, not the best. No tachometer. Boy, that sucks. You don't really know when you're redlining it. And, if you want to, I know that the power band for this bike is right around 4 to 6. You don't even want to rev it out too high because you want to be able to shift the gear and get back into the power band. So not having a tachometer, that's not the best. I'm not happy about that. Horn works, automatic start's great. Throttle feels very good. Lights, high beams, low beams. This is my little phone holder. This is a knockoff. I bought it here in Santa Rosa, Colombia. It's great. If you want extra security, if you're going for a long trip, you add this little rubber thing on there. It's fantastic. I love this thing. I had another one, but I traded it in for this one. Exhaust pipe, freaking tiny. I just turned this bike off, and it's cold. It's air cooled. It's fine to the touch. Bikes get dirty fast here in Colombia. I washed this yesterday. It's already a little bit dirty. I guess one little trip in the rain will do that. But other than that, man, that's it. That's my XTZ 125 that I got here I bought it here in South America, and I plan to ride it, to a number of different countries. Or not ride this one. I'm going to ride the bike that I trade this one in for. For me, 5'11", 165 pounds, this is not enough. It's not enough to feel secure in all the situations. And because there are times when you might grab the wrong gear. And when you grab the wrong gear, bro, there is only one right gear here. Okay? There's only one right gear. And it's the gear where you're close to RPM, redlining it. And if you don't grab that gear, you might have a frickin' bus 2 inches behind you, ripping on the gas. And they get close, dude. And it's not enough power. You need at least 15 to 16 horsepower. Call it, for your body weight, call it 1 horsepower for every 10 pounds. That's what I'm going with, and at a minimum. To be able to take a bike up to elevation, into the mountains, 1 horsepower for every 10 pounds of your body, plus whatever cargo you're carrying, I think that's a fair number to be secure. And fuel injection, don't skimp, dude. Carbureted is not what you want at elevation. Let me tell you, I thought it would be fun, but it got old real quick. So yeah, we're in my little neighborhood here off to the side. But the paint scheme, though, the paint scheme is beautiful. This bike gets more attention than big bikes. People love. I think that this is the classic design. I'm gonna be a little sad that I don't have this classic design anymore because it looks kind of cool, but I look like a clown riding it. It's not big enough. It's like, this is the wrong side. This bike is just totally not big enough. And, you know, you might see people riding these sorts of bikes and the bikes look big, but the thing is, you don't know how big those people are, right? That's the problem. You don't know how big the person is that's riding the bike, and it's all about contrast. So the bike might look big, but it might be being ridden by a person that's 5'2". So, oh yeah, and you have one check engine light. I don't know what it does. 1,000 kilometers on this bike, and we're done. So, thanks a lot for watching my video. No real complaints. It's really my personal opinion, is why I'm getting rid of it, is my personal needs. But, you know, if you're riding in flat land, if you're not high in elevation, not high in the mountains, this is an awesome bike. I'd put new tires on it. Not super happy with these tires. Metzler Sahara 3s, way to go. But yeah, thanks for watching, folks. See you in the next one.